When Hayes Jenkins won the men's title in 1956, it became the first time in Winter Olympic history that Americans had won both individual championships. Jenkins' victory and 16-year-old Carol Heiss' second-place finish behind Lee Albright marked the beginning of a romantic story that would continue 4 years later to Squaw Valley. Then Carol Heiss won the gold medal, and soon after, she and Hayes Jenkins were married.
Professional skating at the time, so the 1960 Olympics comes and goes, you're, pedestal, and then you're off to Hollywood with the Three Stooges. Now I gotta tell you, those are my favorite, and I had no idea until I read a little bio that you were a movie actress for a period of time with Curly Larry and let's see, it would have been Shem. Was Shem?
No, it was trying to think who. Oh, I forget his name right now.
Joe Besser?
No, Joe DeRita.
Oh, DeRita, okay.
Joe DeRita. I think he
right.
And just wonderful people, wonderful. Well, I had two choices, either to make the movie or join an ice show. Mm-hmm. And I thought, I was married at the time, we had just been married, and I wanted Hayes and I to make decisions together because this would affect our future life. And Hayes was wonderful because he said, this is something so different. And he said, I don't want you to look back 8-10 years from now and say, 4 months out of my life, why didn't I do it? Or what did I miss? Or I should have, or I could have. And it really was Hayes who said, I think you should do it. And I was going to earn pretty much the same amount of money in a shorter amount of time than it would have for the ice show. And it was an adventure, and I'm glad I did it because Hayes was definitely right. I can say now that I would have looked back even now and said, 40 years later, saying, why didn't I do it? I mean, why didn't I take some acting lessons from the studio and see what this adventure was all about? Because it was a marvelous experience. I enjoyed it. I knew that I didn't want to become a movie actress. And I knew then that I'd have to really get serious about it. It would have been another career like skating. And I would have had to learn to sing. I would have had to learn to dance, learn to act. And it wasn't my passion. I wanted to be married and Mrs. Hayes Jenkins and have children and have a family just like everyone else, driving the station wagon to, lessons and the children to school.
I gotta ask you, was there any funny anecdotes during the scenes that you'd stand out to say, a funny thing happened to Carol Hayes Jenkins?
There are a couple, and I'll have Hayes tell you one about when he first met the Stooges. But
yeah, this is worth recounting because I went out with Carol for the first couple of weeks while she was in Hollywood just to help her get settled in, and we were in the director's office, and he asked Carol if she had ever met the Three Stooges, and she said no. And he said, well, he picked up the phone and placed a call and ordered them to come up, the old Hollywood days. And they came in, and Mo, who is really the leader and spokesman of the group, didn't really say anything or even shake my hand. He just looked me in the eye and he said, will your wife take a pie? And that sort of set the whole tone. They were wonderful, wonderful people. They were all grandfathers by then. Right. And they took a very grandfatherly interest in Carol and helping her through the experience of making a movie.
Did you take a pie?
No, I never did. I never did. And as Hayes said, they were very protective of me. You're really treated out there very well. And I had my own parking space and had a little apartment on the lot and then a trailer when we did scenes off the lot. So, and there were always people around wanting to know if they could do something for you. And of course, coming from a sport like skating, where you have your coach, your parents, and it's you. and you've got to do it. I mean, you know, people help you, but when you're out there, you can do it. So I wasn't used to, you know, just sitting there and saying, oh, well, I'll get it. I was always jumping up and saying, well, no, don't worry about it. You know, I can do that myself, etc. So I was called into the office by Mr. Skouras, who was head of 20th Century at the time, and the Stooges said to me, oh, you know, what do you think you did? I said, I don't know. You know, I said, well, you just, you know, you be very polite and you be sure we'll be waiting for you, and you know, we just want to know if we can help you. So I get into the office, and Mr. Skouras just turned to me and he said, I would like to tell you that we're trying to make you a star, and you are the star of this movie along with the Stooges. And he said, you have to act like a star. And I said, yes, sir. You know, and he said, please, when you're in the commissary having lunch, he said, please don't ask the other actors and actresses for their autograph. And I said, but I won't see Marilyn Monroe again. I won't see Stuart Granger. I won't see Jane Mansfield and Tyra. All these people were there, you know, and it was making movies. And I said, I may never see them again. So I said, all right. So the Stooges, when I told them the story, they said, we bet Spyro Skouras was just laughing, you know, behind telling you this, you know.
What a thrill. What a thrill.